Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in. It is Mental Health Talk. I am excited to be live on tonight. So let's just get into it. I've been sharing my story a lot more lately on TikTok. And what I've noticed, I have over 17,000 people following me. And the more I post and share my story, the more comments I have of, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one needing, a safe space to vent. And that made me want to come live for you guys really quickly to talk about being a safe space. When you hear the words safe space, what does that mean to you? For me, when I hear safe space, I want to be able to be confident. I want to be able to be heard. I want to be able to be seen. Most importantly, I want to make sure that whatever I share in the moment of me being very open, that it stays confidential. The worst thing that could ever happen when you're being that safe space for someone is to tell what they share with you. They don't want to hear that back 2 weeks from now from someone they've never met. And being in a safe space, you really have to understand what being a safe space entitles. So that's why I'm just here. I'm coming on really briefly, just to share how can you be a safe space or becoming a safe space for someone. So let's just get right into it. Number one, connect with people. A lot of times we just go throughout our day and just be quick and, hey, good to see you, just out of the habit of life. And sometimes when you connect, the small talk is very important. And for me, I am an introvert with a splash of extrovert. So that means I can be very, hey, how you doing? But on the inside, it's just like, okay, when is this going to be over? And in me becoming a safe space for others, I have to realize that being a introvert has to change at some point. I have to indulge in the small talk, and sometimes that means just literally small talk. You may have somebody that bump into you and you say, hey, how you doing? And they start talking about their cat or just random conversation. Although internally you don't want to go that route, but if you want to be a safe space for somebody that you're trying to build that relationship with, connecting with them is very important. Number two, ask people how they're doing. We go throughout our day. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Because that's just life. It's cliche for us to ask somebody how they're doing. And sometimes when we ask, we probably really don't care to know how they're doing, because you can ask somebody on the wrong day, hey, how you doing? And it just seems like the floodgates start opening and they are pouring out everything. I was in a car accident, my leg broke, my grandma's sick, but it's always one thing after another. And we often, I'm not going to ask how they're doing because I really don't want to know. But when you become a safe space for someone, when you genuinely ask, how are they doing? Your face and your eyes tell it all. So actually start caring about how the person is doing. When you say, hey, how you doing? Be sincere and put your focus on them. Don't just say, hey, how you doing? And get in your phone, or hey, how you doing? And continue doing whatever you're doing. Because in the working world, that's a habit. As a bank teller, that's the first thing that we ask. Like, it's just automatic, like program. hey, how you doing? And I've had multiple customers like, do you really want me to answer that? Or are you just saying it because this is part of your job? And then I had to think, if I'm really a safe space for someone, or potentially can be a safe space for someone, I need to start being more sincere when asking, hey, how you doing? So when I ask you how you doing, it's not just because, oh, this is what I normally do. Is I generally want to focus on you and to see how you're doing. You have to others know you care. Your eyes, your face, your body language, all of that plays in the factor of if you really care. So if someone's coming to you, confiding in you, and you're, oh, okay, oh, okay, oh, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, just trying to hurry them up in conversation, you've lost them. They're not going to want to come back to you and share those important things or what is important to them or things that are bothering them. If it's more, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you're going through that, when you're showing compassion and you're showing that you genuinely like really want to help them, that helps them know that, okay, he or she could possibly be a safe space for me. And sometimes you have to bring up things that they mention in the conversation. So somebody could just be ranting and they give you the floor to talk back. You say, so, when you were talking, you mentioned that your mom used to take you for donuts every Saturday, and then out the blue, it stopped, and that really affected you. Let's talk about that more. And right then, you've connected with them and you showed them that you were listening, and not only listening, but that you cared, because you brought up something that was just said quickly, like just thrown out there, that had nothing to do with the conversation, but it is bothering them because, of course, they mentioned it, and you picked up on it, that at some point, their mom taking them for donuts and just stopping really did affect them. So you want to let people know that you care. Keep the information confidential. When you're becoming a safe space for someone, the worst thing you can do is spread that information that they share with you. That's one thing that Let's Vent by Kiara is very big on. If you're calling me or reaching out to me, the first thing I let you know is whatever you share with me is confidential. If we're in a group setting and it's a vent session, everybody who's in attendance, they sign a confidentiality agreement form. So if whatever is discussed gets out, it had to be someone within the circle. And in that part, you will no longer be invited back to events or anything, because when you're a safe space, people want to know that what they're sharing will not get out. And in a safe space, you have to understand that some things that are shared is really going to be mind blowing, to the point where you're so used to sharing it with your spouse, or so used to sharing it with your best friend, and so used to sharing things. But some things as a safe space, especially when it's somebody coming to you and saying, hey, can I share this with you? And I haven't shared it with anyone. That's a sign that they trust you. So keep the person's trust and keep that information yourself. Number 5, determine if they need advice or just need to talk. And sometimes we don't understand that when someone comes to vent to you, it's not because they always need advice. Sometimes people come to you because they don't have anybody else to just listen to. Everybody's always trying to tell them, oh, if I was you, I would have did this, or if this happened, I would have done it this way. Some people really just want to be heard. So before a conversation starts, you should say, hey, do you want advice or do you want me to just listen? And one of my good friends, she's very good with this. When I'm going through certain situations, I know I have a safe space in her. But the first thing she asks me before I even release what I'm feeling is, I just want to know, is this just vent session, or do you want me to help you in what you're going through? And in that moment, that makes me feel very well, because sometimes you just need to just talk. And a lot of people use, oh, don't mind me, I'm just rambling, I'm just rambling. And in those instances, that's someone who really just needs to get everything that they've been holding off their chest. So before you even start a conversation, or before you become a safe space for someone and they're calling you, hey, can you talk? Ask them straight out the gate, do you want me to give you advice, or do you just want me to listen? And whatever their response is how you feedback to what they give you. So if they say, yeah, I want some advice, let them talk first, and then give your advice on, okay, if I was you, this how you should handle this situation. Now if they say, I don't really need advice, I just let me let it out. There's nothing wrong with just sitting and nodding your head. You can, again, your face shows that you are connected to them. So it could be like a, yeah, I'm still listening. I'm still here. I'm still, even if you're on the phone or face to face, you let them know, I'm following what you're saying. Number 6, be a good listener. I find a lot of people listen to respond and not listen to understand. And being a safe space for someone, when they know that you're a good listener, you will begin to be that person that they call on. Hey, this just happened. Can I, tell you what's going on, or can I, come to you for this? And when they realize, man, Kiara is a really great listener, you begin to build that relationship with them to know that whatever it is that you're going through, if you call me, I'm going to listen. I'm not going to listen to automatically cut you off and say, oh, no, you shouldn't have brought cucumbers. You should have brought tomatoes. I'm going to listen to everything that you're saying, process what you're saying, and then offer my advice if the advice is what you're wanting. So you have to be a good listener when you're being a safe space for someone. Show compassion and not judgment. And in a safe space world, some things that you hear is like, oh my gosh, but you have to try to stay within the lines of understanding what they're going through, because you can honestly go too far left and you're thinking you're showing understanding, but you're really casting judgment. So you have to find the line of like actually being compassionate about the things that they're sharing with you. So again, going down the list, connect with people, ask people how they're doing, let others know you care, keep it confidential, determine if they need advice or if they just need a listener, be a good listener, show compassion and not judgment. I watched a brief segment on Facebook, Pastor YPJ, and he was sharing his story of his healing process. Of he went through a divorce and everything, seemed to be crumbling around him, and he was going through a lot, and a lot of people judge as opposed to showing compassion. And one thing that he said that really stuck out to me was this: people aren't healing because they aren't dealing. And when he said that, I really started to reflect on myself. I wasn't really healing because I wasn't dealing with everything that I needed to be healed from. And that was simply because I felt like I didn't have a safe space to really let my guard down and let people see that, yes, I may be laughing and smiling and have it all together, being a great wife, being a great mother, an excellent employee, and all of the things in between. But on the inside, I was really broken. And I didn't feel like I had that safe space to just be myself and to say, you know what? Yes, I'm putting my best foot forward as a mother, but I feel like I'm really losing my mind. I feel like I'm not doing the best that I can for my children. I feel like I'm not doing the best that I could for my spouse. All of those things I was dealing with on the inside, and it wasn't healing because I wasn't dealing. And to be a safe space, you have to give the opportunity for people to deal with the things that they need to heal from. And that's all I had to say on today. So if you aren't healing, you need to deal with what you need to heal with and find you a safe space to let those things go. Find you a safe space to really put the pieces together and actually help you heal from what you've dealt with in your past, what you dealt with currently, what you're dealing with currently. Find a safe space. And for those that want to become a safe space for someone or a mass of people, be mindful of the things that I just shared. I'm gonna say it again. Connect with people, ask people how they're doing, let them know that you care, keep it confidential, determine if they need advice or just want you to listen. Be a good listener. Don't cast judgment and show compassion. And when you begin to do those things for those that are coming to you, you will then become a safe space. So that's the mental health talk for today. Be a safe space for those around you. And one more thing, when you're trying to connect with someone, don't let it be a one-time thing. Send a text message to your friends. Send a text message, especially to the strong friend that always seems to have it together. Sometimes a simple I love you goes a long way for that strong friend that always has to put it together for everybody around them, because things get heavy for the strong friend too. So be a safe space for yourself. Be a safe space for your strong friend. Be a safe space for your pastor. Be a safe space for anybody who you come in contact with that needs to release what's hurting them. So I'm Kiara, and thank you for joining us on this mental health talk. I will see you guys next week. See ya. Oh my God,